can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. Stay on attack when they tackle like damages. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Eat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual. MVP, that decision unanimous. Hit dials, I don't think they can handle it. Battlefield, it's just me and my warriors. Guaranteed we emerging victorious. Years, blood, sweat, tears is glorious. I remember when they always ignoring us. Dash, got it on, smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I copy, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, man, oh there with the hands. Thought they could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on, smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, 100 yard dash, 100 yard dash, 100 yard dash, 100 yard dash, 100 yard dash. They slept on the team that they owe me. I need a ring and a trophy. I say I'm the best cause I am. It's noted in keeping it low-key. I can carve up the D like a turkey or run straight through the D like a train. This year we ain't taking no losses. It's all about making the game. I hear a lot of trash talk. He call himself making a name. I put on the Jets. The coach will regret even letting them stay in the game. Team morale took a tumble. Next time be humble. I'm the lion in the jungle. You just try not to fumble. Rumble, young man, rumble.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is preseason football on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the monsters. Well, Coach, the seating capacity is 65,000 at Ford Field, and we are right around that number today. A good crowd on hand and seemingly ready to go in the Motor City. Tonight, it's a preseason matchup between the Chicago Bears and the Detroit Lions. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback.
No, that's not going to work because you need to be at the house where it lands because there's nobody here.
32!
Check back,
49, check 49!
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
Well, they had that one snipped out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Throwing is Stafford. It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton. And he takes this thing way down into Chicago territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 61 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Out of the gun, Stafford. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21.
I know there would be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. And now they're looking for 19 yards here on third down following 2 negative plays. From the gun, here's Stafford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Samson Abukum in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
So they'll likely get a few more drives before we see the second team, but a good start for the first unit with 3 points.
Yeah, good start, and now they want to see them build on it because you're exactly right. They'll get a few more drives at this stage of the preseason. Can they continue to evolve and add to what we just saw in the first drive?
This is taken at his 4. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. Commanding the offense will be the 7th overall pick of the 2018 draft. It's Josh Allen.
Hello? Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
What's going down?
Yeah, I was calling you earlier so I can get you information so I can send it up to the highlight.
Oh, damn it, I forgot that quick. I didn't forget about that whole situation, but I forgot it.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. He'll have a first down past the 40. And all the way up to the 45-yard line. A good pickup, 17 yards and a bare first down. The CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but man, his first step is so quick too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
A gain of 3, second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
On that last run, he's now hit the 6,000-yard mark for rushing yards in his career.
And moves him squarely into the top 100 rushers of all time. In fact, he can boast that he's rushed for over 1,000 yards more than Gale Sayers did in his career. And Gale Sayers was a Hall of Famer in a short career.
Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. And now before they run this 4th down play, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears trying to go for it on 4th. Allen going to go on 4th down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Lamb. The Bears tried it on 4th down. And the Lions will take over.
Everyone gears up for 3rd down, talks about the importance of it. But 4th down, that's truly the moment of truth play, isn't it?
Everything's dialed up a little bit more. You know, it's such a momentum play, isn't it?
Absolutely, because it can flip either way depending on who converts on 4th down.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
We lost everybody. That's the thing. You missed the offseason.
They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2.
Yeah, I mean, if you look
3rd
at
and 2, Stafford. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here.
Oh, yeah,
to be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right down behind center.
You don't understand. When I tell you he lost everybody.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They'll run on 1st down. Emery, and not much.
He does, but you got to understand, he develops his player when he has a quarterback to go them the ball.
Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go.
What do you mean?
They'll run on 2nd down with Cohen. Heck of a move. Man. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
Yeah, he had Jimmy Garoppolo.
On 3rd down, Emery. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a pickup of 10 and a Bears first down.
Pardon if you want more carries. I think we saw how
I'm not taking yes, he developed his players, but I don't think he's ever been this down low.
Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
First down, a run with Cohen, and just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. The free safety rolling all the way up to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
How about his ability to trust his eyes and figure out it was not a pass play and go fast towards the line of scrimmage in order to make that tackle?
No.
He's going to take this one down to about the 46-yard line.
unlock the hit.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
And he will have a first down here at about the 40. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Yeah,
all runs on this drive so
the
far. It's
regular season I
first
go
and 10.
to tomorrow night.
They'll try the left side. Emery. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A good pickup, 17 yards and a bare first down.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
Oh, okay, yeah.
On first down, it's Cohen. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was doing. I usually take the preseason just to take breaks, but I wanted to see how.
Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach.
No,
He'll
I was
have
going to get
stats
him,
and scores from around the NFL. He and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth.
You didn't respond, so I didn't
Miles
get
away
it.
and smiling.
And happy.
It's a pickup of 10 and a Bears
No, yeah,
first down.
I had them. They was accepting the trade, but you didn't respond. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to go get somebody else.
Here's Allen on first
Yeah, because
and
I went
10.
and if you go look at my transactions, I made a trade with Seattle. I had Donovan, and they was right there. They was right there getting ready to accept it, and all I needed to add was like a fifth round draft pick.
One thing you're hoping for
And
when you're running
didn't, I didn't need him, and I'm like, I'm not
a
going to get
receiver in
him.
stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
That's taken in by Callaway.
Yeah,
and he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Yeah, because I remember you telling me that we was on the phone when he was on free agency.
On third down, Emery. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. A great play there.
Yeah, but I had Dallas.
In the final seconds of the first half. And the Bears have taken the lead.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line.
Toiletry items. You already got one thing on the way.
So we reach.
Hey, I'm
we
sorry.
now proceed to the start of the second half.
No, not yet.
Our starters likely to be out there for the third quarter as we get back underway in this second half. And a fair catch signal for and taken successfully.
For work?
So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you tone that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that.
You thought it was easy. You used to yell at him. You used to yell at him.
But not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First down for the Bears, a gain of 15.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball,
so you don't
protect
got a
this
choice?
lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and
You're
stop.
not the last option.
They'll run on
Carroll's
first down.
Carroll's the last
It's Cohen
option.
fighting his way through contact. And he'll be
There's
taken
still a
down
choice.
across the
Carroll's
50
the last option.
at
You
the
work your
45 at enemy
You
territory.
can let Carroll know I'm leaving at
14 yards in a Chicago first
That's
down.
an option.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that tackle attempt.
Her option was
The ball moves into Lion territory.
No, it was just
now.
me.
Here's first and 10 at the 45-yard line. Allen's throw is complete.
Right, and if you got options, you and Carroll ain't no different than me and Harry.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a
you
very
got more
manageable
options.
second
Carey
and
can
one.
just tell somebody to go there. I can't tell nobody to go there. You got Carey that can find you.
And brought down, but not before they're inside.
You're not understanding. You have that option. You just don't want to utilize
12
that
yards
option.
and a first down for the Bears. Allen going to come to the line here, first and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6
You might over-assist on
He wants the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. He's at the 50.
What's her option? She don't have options.
The 20. And he will score. Touchdown for the Lions.
Tijuana wasn't there.
Bench there. This defense makes the play. They return it for the score, and now they have the lead.
So much for ball security for the offense.
Linda didn't like her. Tijuana wasn't there.
They give the ball up, and all of a sudden they're behind.
Big time.
No, she didn't. No, she didn't. Tijuana wasn't there. No, Tijuana wasn't there. Linda didn't like her. And Tony was one she complaining about her too, but she never told us. She always went and told everybody else.
Return for a touchdown. This fielded at the 2.
Right, so there's no option.
At the 23, make it
there's
the
no option. You got options too.
Line.
You got the same options she got, Coach.
And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it first and 10.
No.
Now what you gotta say? She could quit. She could have quit, but she was there with you.
That's so when you run out of excuses, you gonna pull that card. You had a lot of options too. You could have stayed at Staples. You could have stayed at Staples. You got a lot of options. You could have stayed at Staples. You got a lot of options. It ain't like you didn't know this was gonna happen.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a
Right,
second and 1.
You had options too. You chose your
Despite the
options.
blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid game. The disadvantage of blitzing,
You had an option.
often alters
You
the
could
normal
have turned
spacing
down
and
the
run
job, but you
fits,
would have been
and
in
these
the
creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They run. This is Cohen. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
But
as
you
we surmise, Charles, most of the
studies
starting
show.
units still out there for this third quarter. First time this preseason that they played into the second half.
And that's by design.
Studies show that associates don't like turnovers. So when they lose their manager,
cool
9
down, and
times
then
out
come
of 10,
back
you're
out
going
and
to
warm
lose
up to
those
start the
associates as
third
well.
quarter like you would a regular season game.
Yes, really.
That's exactly what they wanted to get done.
Yeah, that's different. You wasn't a store manager, right?
On second down, it's Cohen.
You were not the store manager.
It's a pickup of 10 and a Bears first down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first
Prime
down. So far on this
example.
do this little bit of math here.
Store manager. Prime
Prime
example. Melissa is gone from the pharmacy, and there's only one person that remains in that pharmacy from when she was there.
Emery.
Mine.
It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down.
Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job, and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends are expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've got to hit the jackpot there.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
No, Terry left because she wanted to be with Melissa.
On first down, Emery.
Yeah, but she still left because she wanted to
He
be with
lost the
Melissa.
football, and this is scooped up by the Lions. And he will take this all the way down to the 38-yard line.
No coach or team's ever happy when someone has a turnover, but if there's ever a good time to do it,
preseason.
Yeah, right.
That's because I told them to stay there. I told them don't do it.
After reviewing the play,
Yes, sir.
the theory was reversed.
No, you talking about when I left? When I left, Josh and Tony tried to leave. I told them to stay.
Down on what's going to turn
And
out to be the
Tony
final play of
Tony
this
left and came back, left and came
back
back.
now
But
at
Josh
Ford
was
Field. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Harriet can leave because of child support.
3-yard loss. 4th down now.
let him go by a little too easily there.
Well, that's what we saw on film, isn't it? His head goes down oftentimes when he goes to punch, when he's trying to block. And when you do that, you can't see your target. He went right past him and made the play.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. And that is incomplete.
John's leaving to be
on 4th down, unable to convert. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
Because he got graduated.
Scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. Quick hitter here. It's complete.
Hold on. Wait a minute, Eddie. You had a transgender that got physically assaulted, and you still called her and him to actually
They'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
See, is it a he or is it a she? Which one is it?
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Sam Martin now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. This is brought in at the 21. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Bears take over. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. They'll start with a give to Cohen. Oh, nice move. He's got a 1st down and then some inside the 40. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a 1st down.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
They'll run on 1st down. Emery. And some room to work. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. 23 yards on the pickup there and a 1st.
Well, that last one makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
On 1st down, it's Cohen. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A 12-yard touchdown run. And the Bears have retaken the lead. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run.
Wow. I feel like I got a Jussie Smollett going on.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is now 14-10.
You know who Jussie Smollett is, right?
Field, and they will send this one away.
You know who Jussie Smollett is?
Take it in the end zone, and he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback.
He did.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And a tight game after punting last time.
That's what it is.
Something going on
I was the asshole. I was like, hey, you know Jussie Smollett? I would ask him, like, you know Jussie Smollett?
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Clinton Dix making the safety blitz.
He got arrested for the same thing that
you're
doing.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. 2nd and long. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
So he getting in a fight with his partner.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their point sheet.
What he's doing is he's playing the system.
Set up to throw.
He knows that you can't let him go if he uses this.
And mark him down way up close to the 40 of the 39. A very solid gain of 27.
Yeah, he can. If you let him go after he's saying that
he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam. Oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Yes, he still has to go to the proper channels, but knowing that he's coached.
So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Back to throw.
Yeah, you are, but if your manager is giving you the okay,
a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48.
Ain't much you can do about it.
The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over.
When he calls in, what do you tell him?
He doesn't call it to me.
So
he doesn't call the score.
Back to throw.
Okay, and what do you do? And what do you?
He's taken down.
What do you do?
The Lions now going to use
what do
the
you do
second of their
when he sends a text
timeouts
message?
as they stop it prior to what will be an important fourth down.
No, stop. So you acknowledge the text message, therefore it is a proper call once you acknowledge the text message. No, Eddie, once you acknowledge the message, that is a proper call.
And he can't get a throw off.
There is no listen. Trust me. Once you acknowledge the message, that is a proper communication.
And the Bears are going to get the football back, and they're going to get it in great field position.
They won't, and offensively, your challenge, should you choose to accept it, take care of the football and run out the clock. They can't just go and turtle, as we like to call it, just tuck in and just sit on the ball here.
No, listen.
Get that first down
that's where you're wrong. If you're acknowledging him and telling him, okay, block X, Y, and Z, then you do have to make an decision. If you would have never acknowledged him, or if you would have responded like,
not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up first and 10.
Then you're not telling him, okay, this and that. Like whenever you acknowledge him saying, okay, just let me know, you're letting him know that his excuse is valid. What you should be doing is every time he like, oh, I got assaulted again, I'm not going to be able to make it, then your response should be, this is your third day in a row that you missed. You need to contact FMLA to get clearance for your day's miss. Like that, you have to follow up a certain type of way to push that. You either two options: either you ignore it and call him, and then once he gets on the phone, let him know we got to get hold of MLA or whatever the hell for medical. Or you acknowledge like you're doing it, and you put yourself in a position to where you can't do
He's still
nothing.
rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Powers through. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
But a spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't he?
But credit the defense, bottling him up, not letting him get in for the second score there. And he's across for the late touchdown. And in the final seconds, that one should just about put a camera on this game. So a little icing on the cake there before the clock hits all zero.
What a way to
yes, if you don't enforce it, then he doesn't have to do anything. Not
much time and a touchdown to put things away.
You have to, as a manager, it is your job to make sure your employee is aware of every form of
communication. 5 plays, and it's finished off.
No, you have to. Listen. When the white girl pulled that shit with Harriet, they told me on the phone with, I forgot who the one was on the phone with, HR, Human Resources, whatever. They told me I had to communicate with the white girl on numerous occasions, and I had to keep
so this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that fourth quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the fourth
they said I had to keep repeating to her whatever she said. They said I would have to basically
dominance is starting to take over.
Okay, I understand
the way
that.
you close,
Call
the way
this
that you
number,
finish,
let them know
from the time you're playing Little League
and they will
football
give you
all the way
clarification
up through.
on whether or not
And they
you
closed
have
them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So that'll do it for
they
us.
can talk to you, but if you don't direct them to get a hold of whoever, then you're responsible.
With that, we say good night from Detroit.
Shit sucks, but yeah, unless you direct them to that number, you're responsible.
What number? The My CVS Health? No, it's a number that's in the break. That's supposed to be in your break room.
Yeah, it's supposed to be in your break room. Yeah, it's the number you provide them for any type of issues that, like the issues he's having right now.